Let's see what the trial is. Hold on. Let's get the thing. Wow! Tory Lanez is guilty on all 3 counts. Wow, you guys! Tory Lanez is guilty on all 3 counts. He is guilty on all 3 counts, you guys. Listen, I have a special guilty thumbnail that I have prepared for the situation. Let me make this guilty thumbnail really quick. Let me make this guilty thumbnail and put it up. We're going to sit here and have a celebration. I'm going to log off, not right now, but in a few minutes, and then meet me back on my channel because I want everybody to see the guilty. Tory Lanez is guilty on our charges. He is guilty as sin. What's I got to say now? What you know what? Let me drop a call link because I want to hear the Tory apologies. Come up here and literally eat some humble pie. I wanted he to see y'all eat that. And you know what? Megan is now coming. Woo! Somebody put on Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. I used to pay for times like this. Woo! Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought that was finished? When it doesn't. Okay, let me stop being hype, right? Look at them. All of them hype. Somebody put on Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mills. Come on, let's do it. You ready? Let's go. You guys, he's guilty on all. And let me tell you something. Megan got a beast of the attorney, Alex Spiro. Next up, Megan's going to sue him civil court and take away every drop of gold that man has from his little bucket. Woo! Put on Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. Let's make this thing go. Make it pop. He is guilty as sin. Woo! He is guilty. Y'all, hold on. You guys, this is huge. The elf on the shelf is done. Woo! Listen, who said this? Who said he got locked up because he was black? Look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all live in America. We all know what it is. If you don't want to be locked up because you're black, don't shoot women in the Hollywood Hills because you're mad that your skills are trash. F quarantine radio, your skills are trash, and you're this power-carrying member of the Lollipop Guild. Please, now Megan's about to go into the civil trial. Shout out to little Kayla. Make his pockets hurt. The funny thing is, Tory tried to offer Megan $1 million payoff. Megan's like, baby, I'm taking everything in that bank account and your son's lunch money. Make his pocket hurt. Shout out to little Kayla. Listen. 100% he's going to be deported. He's going to do jail here, and he's never going to be able to do another show in America. Y'all better support him on his quarantine radio. Seriously, Joe Budden talking about I don't like Megan. That y'all that was going up for Joe Budden. Yeah, I know. Let me just say this because it's been on my chest. Joe Budden was the same person, literally pleasuring his dog. Yes, bragging about he liked to pleasure his dog so his dog wasn't so antsy. Man, please. Talking about he don't like that woman. Baby, your dog don't like you. You're the Joe Budden is the R word to his dog. Does your dog give you permission to touch him like that? I'm just saying, Rim, thank you so much for the super chat. Simply Not, thank you so much for the super chat. So what should we do, y'all? Should we stay? Or you know what? What am I doing? We don't have to leave this live. Let me change the thumbnail real quick for y'all so everybody knows what's going on, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy how much that people fought for this leprechaun. You guys, it's amazing to me. It's crazy to me. I want to bring some of y'all up to actually, where are y'all at? To talk about this. Because listen, are y'all ready to pop? But you know what? That's the thing. All the Dutsies that were in the trial talking about, oh my God, y'all gonna feel real stupid. Where y'all at now? I still don't feel stupid. I wouldn't feel stupid even if he had been found innocent. But I'm glad that I'm so glad that something happened to show that you cannot shoot a Black woman. You cannot shoot a woman. You cannot shoot a human being, whatever level you need this to be on to connect, because your ego, because of your pride, because of your whatever. You just can't do it. You just can't do it, y'all. Yeah. Listen, we knew this was going to happen. Yes, look at me talking trash. Shut up. Let me have my victory lap. What were the things that did it? The eyewitness ID Tory with the gun. Kelsey tried to get on stage and do some dumb stuff. However, Kelsey's 80-minute testimony was super, super powerful. You felt her tears. You felt her, how she was scared. She was recounting every detail. So the fact that she got on stage on the camera and was like, I don't know. Who am I? Huh? God, is that Jesus? Is that you? No. Kelsey got all that popping off, right? Okay, great. Then we go into Megan. As much as the blogs tried to make it seem like Megan was done for her testimony, and first of all, I told y'all Tory's lawyers was stupid. I swear to God, I feel like Tory got his lawyers from the same school that Olga got her lawyers. Do you know there was even one moment in the trial where Tory's lawyers, when they were cross-examining Kelly, that's the British guy that said he saw Tory with the bang bang, right? The prosecutor started laughing while he was being cross-examined. Tory's lawyers turned around and said, yeah, keep laughing. I'm going to give you something to laugh about. He told the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, keep laughing. I'm going to give y'all something to laugh about. Let's also not forget that Tory's lawyers, much like Tasha K's lawyer, Olga, right? Don't ever anybody hire Olga. They weren't even criminal defense lawyers. They were personal injury lawyers, which means personal injury is settled in settlement. Nobody goes to court for personal injury, hardly, right? The fact that you don't even know as a criminal defense lawyer, the last thing you want to do is make an enemy out of the district attorney. There's not a criminal defense lawyer in the world that would threaten, yeah, I'm going to give you something to talk about. They are the DA, baby. They can get you locked up for threats. That's when I said Tory's lawyers are a bunch of dumb thugs just like him, right? Now, let's get into this also, because this can't be mistaken. As much as the blogs, and I'm not saying all the blogs, but they know who they are. And that one guy that would appear, hi guys, that one guy that appeared like, hi guys, I'm right outside the courtroom. I'm just doing this and that. And he was trying to seem like he was an unbiased person. You know what I'm talking about, that journalist with the dark hair, the guy who looked like he's Middle Eastern or white or something. And he would be outside. Do you know that he would show up with Tory's team, leave with Tory's team? Do you know he had a press pass from Tory's team and y'all were looking to him as an unbiased? Now, I'm not saying he's not a good reporter, but if you are hanging out with part of the team you're reporting on, I think that speaks to bias more than anything. As much as people like to say that Megan Thee Stallion's testimony was trash, everybody that was in there that didn't have a skin in the game said that Megan was believable. She was such a good communicator, so not articulate. Well, she was articulate, but also she was very good at conveying her emotions, and people were like really rooting for her. She told a story that just had people hanging on the edge of. She came across as believable. She came across as she was telling the truth. The blogs don't want to admit it, but that's one of the big reasons. Second of all, Kelsey came in there and literally was like, hello. I'm surprised Kelsey didn't come in on some Bill Cosby stuff with a cane. Like, I'm surprised Kelsey didn't come in with a cane and some glasses. Like, huh? Mommy? Is that you? Kelsey tried to come in there, act like she forgot her name, and then said, oh, I'm sorry. I just had a baby. To which half the women on the jury were like, girl, you need to stop. It's my postpartum depression. It messes with my mind. Now, to Kelsey's favor also, right? To Kelsey's favor. Yes, Tory was found guilty, everyone. Let me change the thumbnail. Thank you, everybody, for telling me that Tory was found guilty. But I will say that the one thing that Kelsey had not going for her, but people that were in the court, because at first I thought Kelsey was paid off and that's why she's being quiet. But people in the court said that Kelsey literally was acting like she was afraid for a second, because she kept saying, I feel unprotected. I don't want anything to happen to me and my family. I feel really, really unprotected, right? And that's why the DA asked her, is Tory the one making you feel unprotected? And she was just like, I don't know. What do you mean by that? And then Kelsey, like, she got on the stand after that and was just like acting stupid, talking about something. Say it again, because she was like rubbing it in because the fact, even EJ was sitting up there, and I was like, yo, I don't know what happened with Meg Thee Stallion, but I will say this. A lot of people take issue that she's still not friends with like a lot of people, right? A lot of people take issue with the fact that she's still not friends with a lot of people. Okay, but can I just say this, and we've all been there, right? Can I just say this, and we've all been there? You know how can you say this? You know how when friends fall apart, right? It can be a number of things. It can be, well, it can only be two things. Either you're the problem and you were an a-hole to everyone, but everybody also forgets, and this happens a lot in the Black community, right? I mean, I'm sure it happens in other communities too, but I'm just speaking to the community I know, right? Everybody's an asshole to you, and they were toxic, and you separated yourself from them, okay? And the fact that I remember thinking, okay, so Megan Kelsey, that was messed up, Meg. But when EJ got on the stand and his testimony where he was like, Megan is an angry, mean, drunk, and this and that. And Kelsey's a little Tasmanian devil. When she gets drunk, she's all rainbows and butterflies. But Megan, she's mean. And the prosecutor was like, have you ever seen Meg touch anyone while she was drunk? No. Have you ever seen Meg get aggressive with anybody while she's drunk? No. Did you see a Meg get aggressive that night? No. Have you ever seen Megan even physically assault someone? No. So EJ, you're telling me that Meg is like a mean, angry drunk, but yet you can't think of any times or any ways that she was actually mean or angry to anyone. And then even EJ coming in there on his Law and Order stuff with those striped Beetlejuice pants, like it was just ridiculous. Like, I don't know, y'all. Listen, really quick, let's recap the trial. This is actually really, really important. Listen, Nana, you make a good point. You say now Ms. Stallion's lawyer, Alex Sparrow, needs to go after the blogs and some YouTubers. I do believe if she wants, they will go after the blogs. But do you know what I think Alex is really around for? I really honestly think that Megan is going to sue Tory for civil damages. And Megan is going to make sure that she gets every little bit of that, every little bit of gold he has. I 100% believe that's what's going to happen. Like, listen, so let's get into the news. Hold on, y'all. Let's get into the news. I'm going to pull up the news. Let me just change this thumbnail really quick. Bear with me. Let me just get into this really quickly. Change the thumbnail so y'all can stop telling me he was found guilty. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we've been doing the victory dance all day. Let me just change the thumbnail really quick. And then, hold on. Please hold. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Hold on, let's change this thumbnail. Change it. Do, do, do. This is the happiest I've been. There we go. Okay. It's official. Okay. So do. Just change. Y'all know I'm in a good mood. Okay, so let's get into exactly what happened, because this is actually super important. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. This is super important. I just want to make sure we get all this in. Okay, so where are we? Tory Lanez was found guilty on all counts. The family had an outburst after the verdict was read. Tory was escorted out in handcuffs. Child, it's a circus here right about now. Woo! Listen. Hold on 1 second. This is amazing. This is amazing. Now, this is what I wanted to tell y'all. So just a little bit of what you guys need to know, because, and this was actually predicted by the legal part, because Tory, right? Because Tory is, it's 3 days before Christmas. Tory Lanez was taken in custody before the holidays. That means that Tory Lanez is not going to spend Christmas with his holidays. He was taken into custody immediately, and he's going to have to spend the holidays in jail. He's going to have to spend the holidays in jail while he's waiting for sentencing. As you guys know, when you're found guilty, then you are sentenced. So he's going to have to be there. So he is not even having a holiday. You know, you guys think that this was actually worth it? Let's actually talk, because I want to hear your opinion. I'm going to read more about the counts, what's going on. It is a circus, but did you guys actually think that any of this was actually worth it? I mean, the games Tory decided to play, what Tory decided to do, was it actually worth it? It wasn't. Justin, your dad got arrested by LAPD SWAT. Kelsey, you're probably looking at perjury. Academics. Oh, let's look at the tweet Academics said. When Academics tweeted Megan talking about she going to sue the blogs. Lol. How are you going to do that? Especially if he's found not guilty. Laughing my ass off. Now that he was found, first of all, for him to be found, for Academics to be sued, Tory didn't have to be found not guilty, because Alex Sparrow, Meg's lawyer, said he was suing for misinformation, that faulty doctor's report, the false jury instructions that were being circulated, the false evidence of gunshot powder, the false evidence of DNA, the way they said there was no DNA when the truth was inconclusive, the false evidence that Megan lied and she never had bullets in her feet and she had glass jaw, right? Woo! Atlantic Creole said, I'm currently at LAX and baby, why are people not doing their jobs? Too busy talking about Tory and Meg. What a time to be alive. Woo! What a time to be alive. I was doubtful. I was like praying. I was like, please, this has been a rough year. Please let there be some justice. And we got justice. The funny thing is, like I said, the Dusties, are they going to accept this trial? But let's get back into this and let's see what else is going on with the Tory Lanez verdict. There's some new information I have to give you guys. Where are we? Hold on. Where are we? Let's go into, oh, here we go. Let's go into our girl, Megan Cuniff. There's this girl called Megan Cuniff, Meghann Cuniff. She's at the Law and Crime Network. She did some of the best unbiased live tweeting and also write-ups, right? Let's see. Oh, listen to this. A jury has convicted Tory Lanez of all three charges this is her live witness, for all three charges for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, a crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother screamed about wicked injustice. This is so sweet. I mean, listen, it's not funny that parents are going to lose their baby, but Tory, nobody told you to shoot the gun, right? Get this. I just have to repeat it. A crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother screamed, wicked injustice, wicked injustice. And I'm sure the judge was like, order in the court, order in the court. And people are like, ah, you know what's messed up though? Tory had his 6-year-old son there seeing all that commotion. That's the messed up part. You should have kept your baby at home, especially because Tory knew he was guilty. See, I know a lot of people like to be like, I don't know. Did Tory shoot Meg? I have more inside information. Hold on. We're going to talk about it in a second. Did Tory shoot Meg? Did he do it? I don't know. Everybody acted like Meg the Stallion had literally ceased to live at that moment. And we had to have a seance to be like, you guys, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Let's bring on medium. What actually happened? When at the whole point, I was like, you guys, the victim is still alive. She is telling us point blank, Tory shot me. The witnesses are saying, I saw Tory with a gun. The other witness is saying, Tory shot her and he ripped my hair out of the scalp. He ripped my head out of the scalp. All that stuff happened. And we're still like, I don't know. Did she step on glass? Man. And you got the nerve to be singing wicked injustice. Tory, you knew you were guilty. You knew there was a good chance of you being found guilty. And you still had your 6-year-old son sitting there watching it. Tory's a selfish psychopath. I'm just saying. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know for certain. I'm not a psychologist. Now, let's get into more. Tory Lanez's father stood up and screamed, "This is a wicked system!" He screamed at the prosecutors that they are evil and they know exactly what they did here. His stepmother stood up screaming and yelling. Father was yelling about Rock Nation. Now, I just want to say this. Tory got a temper problem. Where do you think he got it from? Well, there's more. I'm just slowing this down because it's so juicy to me. Let's take it slow. I've been waiting all week for this. Do you know how many emails I got from Tory stands, patrons, I don't know what they were, threatening me, doing this, doing that, wishing me to be embarrassed, wishing I get honored, wishing this, all because I said, I think Tory shot Meg. Yeah. So anyway, do you know all the trolls that have been around? Do you know the other YouTubers, the abuse they've been giving? It's been, no, I'm just saying, let's recount. Woo! The father stood up and screamed, "This is a wicked system!" He screamed at the prosecutors. That's how you know somebody's out their mind. I wouldn't be screaming at the prosecutors at all. I would not be screaming at the prosecutors at all. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting more updates. Hold on. Okay. So he screamed. Let me get through this and then I'm going to make a video about this. Okay. He screamed at the prosecutor. He screamed at, hold on, y'all. He screamed at the prosecutor. He screamed at the judge about wicked injustice. He did all that mess, right? He then, what else did he do? There was something else. Oh my God, you guys, hold on. Hold on a second. This is incredible. Hold on. We have a video of Tory's father screaming out the courtroom. Hold on, look. Oh my God.
It's not over. God does not lose. And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
He don't fail. Hold on, sorry guys. You know what? That's one thing I agree. He don't fail. And he didn't fail us now. The only thing is, he doesn't realize your son wasn't on God's side. Hold on. It's over.
God does not lose. And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail. I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney.
Is he Jamaican? Y'all, God does not lose. I agree. God does not lose. But baby, your son was not on God's side. He wasn't on God's side. Let me flip through this real quick. Let me get through this real quick. And then we're going to think, because y'all got to hear what. So y'all see now how he was yelling, right? Yelling wicked ways. Hold on, let's get in, right? Tory Lanez was remanded on the spot, led out in handcuffs by shift deputies. There was a total 6 total in the courtroom, 2 at door and 4 behind Lanez. And there was quite a scene when they tried to get Lanez's father and stepmother under control. One woman in the gallery held up her hand as Tory's father was screaming about Rock Nation and wicked injustice, repeating in the name of Jesus. Deputies were forcing them all the way out the hallway and telling the gallery to stay seated. Woo! Listen. Wow. Right now, reporters are in the media area on the 12th floor hoping to get a comment from someone. They can't get back. Megan Thee Stallion's lawyer has released a statement. He said, the jury got it right. I'm thankful there was justice for Meg. They said there's absolutely pandemonium erupted in the court shortly before Tory Lanez was led away in handcuffs. Woo, woo. One woman turned and looked at the reporter sitting behind her, including me, and said, Jay-Z is a B. Report that. Jay-Z is a B. What the hell? Tory Lanez's people are in sin. They're insane, and I see where he got it from. All this stuff. Imagine being a grown man screaming about God and justice and does not miss when your son shot a woman in cold blood and lied about it. And you sitting here screaming about God. I know God is sitting there with his heavenless saying, all right, who else? Everybody in the, you know what? How about the whole bloodline? But not the little boy. He's still innocent. But everybody else in the bloodline, let's get him out of here. Gabriel, you know what to do. If anybody comes looking, if anybody comes there with lace fronts and wait, how does Tory Lanez's father has hair? Oh, wait, no. Baldness follows the woman line. And then listen, there's nothing wrong with being bald. There's nothing wrong with losing hair. Don't get me wrong. But Tory Lanez having the nerve to wear a lace front, like he the baddie on the block, while people scream about women being emotional. Please. Anyway, y'all. Listen, he's a father. Listen, he's a father. And somebody said he's a father and he loves his son. I get that he loves his son. But part of being a father and raising a son, raising a man, is raising a man to take accountability for his mistakes. You can love your son. You can stand 10 toes down with your son. You can cry with your son, hold hands, pray over your son. But the fact that you don't want your son to be held accountable for his actions, that's not a father. That's not a father. You were raising a weak person. So I understand why he is the father. And I understand what fathers do. I got a father myself. My family has like this. Like I understand that. But this is my opinion. And I get it. But you're now screaming that it was wicked and evil and using God's name and blasphemy because you don't like that your son was held impossible. I can understand if he said, I don't care. This is my son. And I don't care about no Megan. But you're using God's name. You're hiding behind God. When you know your son is a devil incarnate sitting there, man, get his ass off the street. I'm just saying, listen, be a father. Love your son. Love your kids. That's what you're supposed to do. But don't sit there and lie on them. Don't sit there and try to turn this into a conspiracy. Oh, no. No. Don't do that. Tory Lanez got exactly what he deserved. Tory Lanez got exactly what he deserved. Definitely. He got exactly what he deserved. I am ecstatic that happened. I'm also literally thinking, how can we make this like more uncomfortable for Tory Lanez? Like, think about it. He's now going to be sentenced. What is he looking at? Hold on. Let's see what charges he's looking at. This is actually important. Let's see what Tory Lanez is looking at. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see what Tory Lanez is looking at for his cases. Oh, hold on really quick. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, we have a special guest. Hold on. Hey, we have Ballistic. How are you?
Oh my goodness.
I put in the link in the thing. God is done. She has her own YouTube channel. You guys have to sub. She is literally trying to do this full time. She has been in the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez trial every single day, going live, taking notes, and giving us some unbiased but factual truth, right? Dr. Payne Nestor said Meg's case was the third time that we know of that Tiny Tim was reckless with a gun. I hope anyone who made a deal with it regrets it. Boomerang, please. I know that's right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dr. Payne Nestor. So listen, God is done. Also, a link to her YouTube channel is going to be below in the link. Literally, we have to make a separate video about this, but really quick while you're here, God is done. We heard there was pandemonium in the courtroom. Can you describe the scene? She was eyewitness, y'all.
All I can say is chaos, so much just vitriol. So basically, I'm sure you heard the verdicts already, right? The three guilty verdicts. The father stood up first, yelled so loud, "You guys are wicked system." I mean, he went on. I think he said, he was talking about God and punishment and basically sounded like he was trying to curse people. I mean, I'm
Listen,
just
if y'all
saying.
if they find some chickens with some feathers laying up by the curb, I'm just saying, burn some sage around you. So go on.
Super, yeah, for sure. So he went on, and then the stepmother with the afro. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures. That's the father's wife, which is Tory. He said it was his stepmother who prayed with him. He said they're Christian. They pray because someone tried to give him a crystal bracelet. He didn't take it. But anyway, she stood up and also joined in and was pointing and fingers and shouting, and they were in unison. It was crazy. And also their people, they had children with them, not just Tory's son. There were like 2 other children witnessing all this. I mean, I don't even know it went on for like a few minutes. And I was wondering, why are the deputies not escorting? I guess they they weren't expecting it probably. And they had to manage the crowd also because people were trying to take out their phones. They were like yelling at people, put your phones away. People were trying to leave. They were trying to, it was just a whole zoo, circus, everything you could put together with regard to chaos. That was that.
What was Tory's reaction when they read the verdict?
To me, I would say shocked. Like he just didn't have any, to me, I didn't see any emotion. I've been telling people that he's been very reactive as far as when he hears things, he either, he might look shocked or like, heck no. Or, he makes faces. He also rolled his eyes a lot. But when this happened, he's just stark still. I didn't see a blink. Like he just looked surprised. Like,
really?
They did. Yeah, he looked surprised. They did eventually cuff him and walk him out in cuffs.
How did he look when he was walking out? What was his face like? Was it like,
or was his
like,
head was down, I think his head was down, and I saw him from the side because I was so busy looking at the chaos, I didn't even realize they were handcuffing him and escorting him out. So when I did look, he was it was a side view of him. He was looking down, his hands, obviously behind his back, and they just escorted him through a side door. They finally got the family out. He was there while this was happening, and then they finally got the family out. The press was coming out and the public, and they stopped my group like we were coming out because they felt like it wasn't safe. So they pushed us back into the courtroom. The press started, yes, half of us. Now, mind you, we know how press works. It's a timing game. You want to beat everybody, right? So a lot of the press, the big ones, I don't know if you know who Megan Cuniff is. She's somebody that people follow on Twitter a lot. She was one of the ones kept back. And they were yelling at these people, you cannot keep us here. This is against our rights as press. We need to get out. Like, I mean, that just added. That was Megan Cuniff. She's on Twitter and she does breakdowns. Like people usually post her breakdowns. I forgot what her platform is, but anyway, I didn't know the other people she was the main one yelling, but other people were like, yeah, we can't stay here. Like we have to get out of here. We have a job to do. Like, so it took about maybe not 5 minutes, but it seemed like it took a long time for they finally let us out because the yelling was still audible outside. There were also weeps in the courtroom of people who were crying and upset. So the fans were upset. People, crying and just sobbing. Oof. So what else? Oh, before they let us out, a gentleman was escorted. Yeah.
Sorry, keep talking.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that before they let us out the court, a gentleman was brought in. I think he was with their team, and they put him in front of the judge. I mean, I don't know what they were going to do with him, but I think something might have happened where they brought him in. Then they let us out. I don't know if he was in cuffs. I couldn't tell, but I know they had him. It looked like his hands were behind his back. So he probably did something crazy in the hallway, and they had him, I think, face the judge. I'm not sure. They escorted us out at that point. And of course, everybody outside is going crazy. Downstairs, the paparazzi, they wouldn't let us out that particular door, the one we usually go out. I did see his lawyers. Actually, they were right next to me just now, actually, a few minutes ago. I think they're still talking to people. But yeah, that was the scene, child.
What was his lawyers doing?
What were his lawyers doing? I didn't see his lawyers. When all this was going on, I think they might have been talking to him. I'm trying to think. I didn't see any upset look on their face. Kind of like they expected it. That's what I got. Like, oh, they probably knew that this was going to go like this. I took it when I saw them because I'm like, they look pretty. Even before the verdict was read, he and the prosecutors were kind of chucking it up and smiling. So I was like, so do they know something? Or they seem happy, you know? Tory also, they said something to Tory and he smiled too. So I was like, oh, he's in a good mood. Maybe they found out that he is not going to be found guilty. You know, he's going to be acquitted. But no.
Listen, they got the check cleared. So they were just like, haha, you know, the check cleared. I do want to know this. So we're hearing rumors that Tory is looking at about 22 years in jail.
Yeah, for all three. Like, so the first two that he initially had, those counts, they said that he was looking at 22 years. When they added the third count of gross negligence carried 6 years and it's deportable. Now, the judge did say that there would be no more time added.
If you pause, it's 6 years. The first charge is 6 years, carries 6 years, and it's a deportable offense. So
the third charge.
The third charge. So they can make two things happen. He serves his whole jail sentence in America, and then they kick him back to Canada when it's over, or they send him to Canada and he serves his jail time over there. But go on. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Tory Lanez is in custody, everybody. He was taken in custody in the court. He is guilty on all 3 charges. Okay, so keep going. I'm sorry, Goddess Dawn.
Oh no, it's all good. I mean, I didn't read verbatim. I'm pretty sure you saw how they read the counts and stuff. So, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I had something else, but
so you were saying that. Oh no, we were talking about the 3 counts. I said it's 22 years, and you said the first count,
the first 2, because he got the 2 counts together initially. And with them together, it was a 22-year, you know, he was looking at 22 years. Now, we were told that the third count would not add time to the 22 years. So he's not looking at additional years because of the third count. From what I understand. Yeah. So what do they call that? Concurrent? Or,
it's going to run concurrent.
Yeah.
So, so he's not looking at any additional years. It will run concurrent. What was Megan? Was Megan Thee Stallion actually in court to hear the jury verdict?
No, I believe her people were there, maybe Rock Nation, because her team would come in when it was arguments, like opening and closing, as well as this verdict. I believe they were there because that courtroom was packed. They had to add chairs. So I think they were there for that, to get it firsthand.
Okay, so they were there for that, to get it firsthand. Megan's team, was her lawyer Alex Sparrow there? What was the prosecutor's reaction? Did they seem relieved? Did they seem confident? What did they seem like?
Well, when they were initially sitting there, they were sitting there waiting for the longest. Like, the defense hadn't come in until right before the verdict, and Tory came in a little before them. So the prosecutors were sitting there talking to each other, you know, just you know, they seemed unbothered. They seemed unbothered though. They didn't seem tense or stressed. Like, they just.
The funny thing about this is, when I first started reading about the Tory Lanez Megan trial, and not from a year ago, but just like, you know, a week before trial started, and the prosecutor let everybody know what he had, a lot of criminal defense lawyers and public defendants literally in Twitter laughed and said, you guys, this is the most open and shut case there is. And they basically looked at all of Tory's antics as just like, you know, just like child's play. So on one hand, it's a foregone conclusion, but I'm sure you've seen it in court before, how things can go horribly left, even though it is an open and shut case. Did you ever get the feeling while you were in watching the trial that it was going to go bad for Megan?
Well, I did have some feelings that this might not go her way, because there were 2 jurors in particular that I personally felt were always for Tory. Whenever his defense would make claims against Megan and this, they were nodding their head yes and smirking a smile. Like, I was like, oh wow, they're not even hiding their support for Tory. But I was shocked, because I kind of did think they might be a hung jury. But being that they came back today, I knew I knew it wasn't, because we figured if they went over past Christmas, then we probably thought maybe there's a hung jury. But
well, hold on. DA just released a statement. Let's see what they got to say. The DA and Tory Lanez trial. I'm Googling right now. Dawn, keep talking. Goddess Dawn. She has the Goddess Dawn, like the sunlight. She has a YouTube channel. Goddess Dawn Speaks. She is. I put her link down in the description box. Please join her YouTube channel. We want to run her numbers up. She's been doing an amazing job of covering this trial every day live tweeting it. She covers a lot of current topics. she could really listen. You guys, you know, whenever I recommend someone, they are super, super legit, but we want to kind of run her numbers up and get things going so we can continue to do this full time. We need more people full time.
I appreciate it so much. I really do, because I have a business which is commission based, and because I've been here for 2 weeks, it's been like a little challenging. All I'm saying is that's greatly appreciated.
Understand the hustle. Yeah, so the link to our YouTube channel is right there. If you do leave the live on your way out, please hit her up, give her a sub. If you don't like it, you can always unsub. I'm telling you, you're gonna love her content. I saw her content and I subbed right away. Yeah. So here's what the DA said. Right? Here's what the DA said. The California prosecutor told jurors Wednesday, right? The California prosecutor, hey, what's up, Afi? I'll bring you up in 1 second. The California prosecutor told jurors on Wednesday that Meg Thee Stallion would never have subjected herself to the torrent of public abuse she's received if she wasn't telling the truth about rapper Tory Lanez shooting her in the feet and wounding her in the summer of 2020. Deputy Assistant the DDA, Alexander Bott, said the jury should believe Megan's anguish, evident in her testimony last week, and her courage in fighting through it. Jurors should also provide Megan with justice by convicting Lanez, he said, citing the scorn she received online and in parts of the hip-hop community. She said, why would she lie? She's been subjected to a stream of hate. For what? For coming forward as a victim of domestic violence? I know that's right.
Yes.
Listen, there's what Tory's Lanez attorney said in it. They said that basically Megan Pete is a liar. She lied about everything in this case from the beginning. She lied under oath here. Well, we see how that turned out. Okay, so listen, this was a mess. Let's bring Afi up really quick.
Afi.
Hey, Afi, how are you?
Hey guys.
Queen Afi.
I'm in the car, like I just left the court, so bear with me in the lighting and such. But hey,
you're gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
Of course.
So Afi is also she's a criminal lawyer, 7 years in. She knows this in and out. Afi, so a couple of things we want to talk about, and we want to get your impression of this, whether you thought this case was open and shut, and also we want to talk about whether Megan, do you think, I think she is, it looks like I smell a civil trial coming along. I see a civil suit against Tory to run up his pockets, and also there were threats that she's going to sue bloggers for that were releasing misinformation. But let's not jump the gun. Let's talk about were you expecting this verdict? And did you think in the beginning this was an open and shut case?
Well, Goddess can tell you, I definitely predicted a guilty verdict, and I thought it was going to be a very quick verdict. I knew that we would have a verdict before the holidays for sure. I did not anticipate guilty on all 3 charges. I thought that he would only be found guilty of the 3rd charge that they added, which was a negligent discharge of a weapon, I believe. I have the perfect language for that, but I did not think it was going to be all 3. But I knew a guilty verdict was coming because there were just a few things that he could not defeat, and irrespective of how Kelsey testified, no one could explain the Tory shot Meg 911. I don't think anybody believed that Kelsey was a criminal mastermind, and immediately after the guns were fired, she began to set up the stage to incriminate Tory. So that really couldn't be explained. And also the jail call saying, I'm sorry, I really wouldn't have done that specific thing had I not been drunk that night. So I think those are some things you couldn't overcome.
Definitely couldn't overcome. So he's guilty on all 3 counts. What we were just talking about, the maximum and the minimum that he would actually be guilty of. It's about 22 years.
I think his so I read somewhere, I didn't do the research myself, but I did read somewhere that his exposure was 23 years. But there are so many mitigating factors, like the fact that he's got children, or he's got at least one son that we know of. He doesn't have any prior convictions that I'm aware of. So, those are his standing in the community. You have to look at a whole host of factors that are going to impact whatever he's sentenced. Usually there's something called like a pre-sentencing report that a judge will order, and he'll be interviewed. He'll get letters from friends, family, and people who vouch for him in the community, and that will impact his sentence. But I promise you, he will not get anywhere near 20 years. That's my prediction.
really quick, I want to see what your prediction of the lowest he could get. But before we do that, let me just take Talcha J. Thank you so much for the super chat. The DA released a statement. We're in the middle of reading it. Thank you so much for shouting out. And Janice, girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody, thanks Janice for the super chat. You said thank you for covering the cake. Meg deserved justice. She did deserve justice because I think the DA got it right. And the fact that everybody was, not everyone, but a lot of mainstream media was overlooking the fact this is a domestic violence case. If what they're saying is true, and Tory was chopping her down, God, Megan, please go wash yourself in bleach. But if Tory was chopping it down, this is domestic violence, and it makes it even more horrible what happened. So I'm glad that people saw the truth. Now let's get back to what do you think? And I know you're just giving estimates, right? But in your experience, with looking at 22 years, what do you think the minimum he would get is?
I don't, I'd have to read the statute and see what the minimum is. If it's 0 to 20, 0 to 23 years, or if everything is probatable. I'm not sure. But again, the big thing is he doesn't have any prior convictions. So that's a huge factor. Also, again, his standing in the community. There are a lot of things, but he certainly won't get. I don't think he'll get double digits unless somebody's trying to make an example out of him.
Listen, even single digits, I think is good. Now, this is a question from Black Love, and thank you again so much, Janice C, for the super chat. Black Love says, "Can you do a retrial? I stand with Meg." Do you guys, ladies, want to answer that or
no? You can't do a retrial, but he can certainly appeal.
Right?
So, but he's been remanded to custody right now. So, I'm sure he'll file an appeal.
Okay. Yeah, he should file an appeal, but for those of you guys that don't know, the appeal cannot double guess what the jury thinks or said. The appeal is basically trying to say that something legally in procedure was not followed correctly, and because that they need to appeal it. They need to review it. So when you do it, could you take us through the steps of what his appeal would look like and what grounds he can actually file an appeal on?
So I think tonight, his attorneys are going to be just like parsing through everything that happened, parsing through the transcript and trying to find if there was some type of error and some type of harmful error, either procedurally from the judge or if there's even new evidence that can be found or anything really. I think they'll interview the jurors as well to find out if something was amiss during deliberations. They'll be looking for anything to base their appeal on tonight and tomorrow. Like that's their next step. Is it just me?
Okay,
No,
sorry about that. So anyway, everybody's celebrating around here. Like, we got to go celebrate. So listen, we just got the statement of the star. We're going to get back to that. But listen to this. We just got the statement of the Star Peterson. He said, this is the DA. "I want to start by highlighting the bravery of Megan Pete. You showed incredible courage and vulnerability with your testimony despite repeated and grotesque attacks that you did not deserve. You faced unjust and despicable scrutiny that no woman should ever face, and you've been an inspiration to others across LA County and the nation. Women, especially Black women," that's right, we up. We win it in 2023. We're up. Black women, woo, finally we got one. "Women, especially Black women, are afraid to report crimes like assault and sexual violence because they are too often not believed. This trial, for the second time this month, highlighted the numerous ways that our society must do better for women. I'd also like to thank the jurors for their time and thoughtful deliberation, and our trial team for the tireless pursuit of truth. You spent countless hours away from your families during the holiday season, preparing this case and finding justice for Ms. Pete. Your sacrifice is appreciated." That was the District Attorney George Gascon, December 23rd, 2022.
Oh, wow.
What's more, get this, and this is just me, Tory Lanez is the worst father in the world because not only did he traumatize Meg, but he traumatized his child. I do believe that little boy had no business. I don't care whether he was guilty or innocent. There's certain things that children just shouldn't be around, not if you can't help it. They said Tory's 6-year-old son started crying in the front row after his grandfather was ushered out. So his dad caused such a commotion, he had to be ushered out. Tory was looking at the child and patted his chest to reassure him.
This is the thing. I don't
raising dysfunction. Like,
I feel, listen, honestly, like, I don't feel like it was a place for a child, but honestly, that's like the last place he could see his dad, because they definitely handcuffed him and remanded him into custody. So, I mean, like,
is that the memory you want?
No,
read me a bedtime story and then make me breakfast and kiss me on the head before you leave. I don't want my last memory to be a grandpeepaw acting stupid. Like he's like in the book of Revelation speaking in tongues, grandma going crazy. Like whatever happened to like Hallmark style, you know, like make s'mores the night before, tell me how much you love me, how special I am, make me breakfast, and then I go see you on visiting day. I just think that's a traumatizing. A kid just found out his father's being taken away. His whole life is upside down. Tory Lanez ain't ish, but that is that boy's father, and everybody loves their parents. And then you got that trauma of like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my daddy? And then your grandmom and grandpa are yelling like he just got sentenced to like Dante's Inferno. It's just traumatizing. Like, can you imagine? And through all that, nobody was thinking about the kid. The grandmom and grandpa weren't. They were just acting a fool. Like, again, different strokes for different folks. I hope to never be in that situation to even understand how I would act. But I don't know. I just felt like I would have been like literally on the phone with a lawyer. Like, all right, so what are we doing? You guys are fired, and let me get another lawyer on the phone. So
it was definitely traumatizing. I know it was traumatizing for the audience, so I know it was traumatizing for the kids. Yeah. It was just very, very sad.
Yeah, there were other kids there as well. Awful. Yeah, yesterday and today there were other children as well, and it was so chaotic and crazy. But you know, they could have a different type of lifestyle. Maybe the kids are used to this type of, you know, I don't know. But before you say, let me just tell you, my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna drop down. I'm trying to leave this courthouse because I'm afraid.
Wait, really quick, you guys, because we're gonna wrap this live up. Afi and also Goddess Don Speaks. The links to YouTube and to their socials are down in the description box. And also, you guys, hit me up offline because I would like to make a quick video, like a quick 20-minute video that we can also post. If not, I'll just make the video myself. But if you guys want to come on the 20-minute video, let me know. I'll send you a link to the StreamYard. You guys are getting all our inside business. But listen, y'all, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much for joining. We're gonna drop a video with more information. Look for it like in the next half hour. And you guys, don't click off. But you guys, all right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I know I always call out of the rock once every year for a live, but I exist. I'm not an AI person. All right, you guys. So look out for the video.
Much.
And happy holidays to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, let's end this broadcast.